On Funniest Pets and People, a Pomeranian pauses for lunch. The one that got away didn't. A wish that never comes true. A bird brings some balance to his life. A goldfish bends it like Beckham. And, Mom, is that you? It's the show that will have you sing, stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Pets and People. It's H2. Oh, man, is this fun? It is water play. Reginald von Parrot prefers to get washed in the sink because the dishwasher leaves his beak all spotty. Just don't make Reginald bathe with the children. Thank you. Try as he might, Yeller just can't figure out why. No matter how much he bathes, he cannot get rid of that wet dog smell. In fact, the more he bathes, the worse it seems to get. The owners don't realize it, but Smokey here can sense that their house was built over an ancient burial ground. Oh, yeah. The drain is a portal to the other side. Now, Smokey knows they either need to call an exorcist or a plumber. Terry knew the damage that water can do to an unvarnished deck. Oh, she tried to tell him. But how is a dog supposed to tell a human they need to varnish? Charades? Come on, get real. So instead, Terry does the best she can. She tries to drink all the water before any damage can occur. Terry sure hopes they varnish soon. She's just not that thirsty. When traveling at high speeds, you usually don't have to worry about picking up hitchhikers. But every now and again, you find an ambitious one. Now they can ride in the carpool lane. Well, you know, if the Everglades had a carpool lane, or carpool glade, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
Sally loved baths. She'd take a few a day if she had her druthers. Nothing relaxed her more than getting hosed down on a warm summer evening. So why on earth wouldn't her owner cooperate? Bathe me. Bathe. You shouldn't be working up a sweat trying to get clean, right? You know, goldfish have a distinct advantage when it comes to playing soccer. They could never get called for a hands violation. And my rule book doesn't say anything about finning the ball.
And there it goes. Up, just on the edge, taking that helmet, good job.
When you're 1, Mom has to do it. When you turn 2, you still need a little help. It's the 3rd birthday when you get to fly solo. Just make a wish and blow. And by the time she gets these blown out, it'll be time to add a 4th candle. I know what I'm gonna get her next year. A fire extinguisher. Given the choice between indoor misery and outdoor fun, I'd have to go with, outdoor fun. It's what's called a no-brainer. Well, most people just assume rabbits instinctively hop. The ones that are quite good, the ones who take it seriously, use a jumping sensei to kick their hopping up to the next level. Now, just because it looks effortless doesn't mean no effort went into it. Marty hated sprinkler heads. He preferred soak irrigation. You see, less water is wasted that way. When would people learn that these type of sprinklers are environmentally unfriendly? Marty is on a water conservation mission. He's spreading the word, 1 yard at a time. Head rhymes with sled. Like, you know, hey guys, watch your head. When Captain Ned says it's 15 minutes for 15 bucks, he means it, man. No matter where you are, when your 15 minutes are up, Ned wants you off. No sooner do Santa's reindeer get back to the North Pole than they have to start thinking about next year. A huge part of their preparation is nutritional. Now, while they enjoy the celery, carrots, and yes, the occasional cookie you leave out for them every Christmas, the cornerstone of their diet is milk. Eat Donner, eat Blitzen, eat Comet, eat Cupid. Nosh Dancer, Nosh Prancer, Nosh Dasher, and Vixen. Rudolph has his delivered in. Now, they hired Buck because his resume said he had rope experience. Unfortunately, his experience with rope wasn't the jumping kind. It was the rope and steers kind. Well, at least he wasn't branding these little dogies. Well, just goes to show, you can practice all day long with your floaty in the pool, and it still does not prepare you for the ocean. Look out, shark! Shark! Swim, lady, swim! Oh, never mind. Having a human at your beck and call would be awesome. If you could talk and tell them what you really want them to do. Otherwise, they just pull you around in a box. Yeah, it's great and all. It's just probably not the cat's first choice. Coming up, a snake on a snout. And a dancer breaks the fourth wall. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. They want you to know that, yes, it is true, so they sent in these clips. Look what I can do.
Patience.
Reggie wanted the role of William Tell's son in the annual Parkside Rec Center talent show so bad, he was willing to rehearse for hours. His acting coach thought if they started with dog biscuits, it'd be easy to work up to apples. Now, Reggie does know William Tell used a bow and arrow, right? Boy, show folk are a breed unto themselves, huh?
Really?
Honestly, Pancho wasn't that into water ballet. But when the mercury is hovering at the century mark, he'll do just about anything to cool off. Even an aqua ballet. He just hopes no one is watching. Etiquette dictates that as long as you can reach an item without reaching across someone, you should get it yourself. If it is out of reach, you should ask that it be passed to you. The hardest decision is when it is almost in reach and you don't technically have to reach across anyone. Hey, there's no crime in asking for a little help, right? Tommy isn't content to simply drink the water. Oh, no. He likes to stalk it, sneak up on it, and wrestle it to the ground. He refuses to let backyard living make him soft. Only problem is that once he has wrestled the water to the ground, there isn't much left for him to drink. Plus, stalking, sneaking, and wrestling make Tommy thirsty. Now, anyone can say their dog is a real charmer, right? But only Lydia here can say her dog is a real snake charmer. This wannabe boa is really putting on the squeeze.
Okay. Okay, you can take it off now. Hello?
Ernie knew circus life would be tough. He knew he would never have a steady source of income. It'd be pretty hard to raise a family, and the traveling might get old after a while. But Ernie swore one thing. He would stick to his motto. No egrets. Ever since the new baby arrived, Leopold has felt a little jealous. So while Mommy changes the baby, he hops into the playpen and licks all of her toys. That'll show it. Oh, Leopold, here they come. Get out of there. Nicely played, Leopold. Nicely played. It's one thing when the newspaper critics lambaste your choreography as uninspired, derivative, and stodgy. But when the entire company calls you on stage to dance you down, well, maybe musical theater just isn't for you. Take off the collar and leave the lead on the hook, because it's time for Funniest Pets and People Unleashed. Being a doggy fashion model sounds like an idyllic life. Someone doing your hair, brushing your teeth. All you have to do is sit there and look pretty. Oh yeah, you work it, boyfriend, you work it. The downside is you have to smile anytime they tell you to. And that is nothing to smile about, let me tell you. I was not born tomorrow. Woof. I don't want to say Hector is lazy, but this is his morning workout. The dog just isn't that active, people. It's almost time for his owner to take him for his afternoon drag. You know, this is cute and all, but there is a reason raccoons have the reputation of being nature's bandits. See, while Susie is whispering sweet nothings in this guy's ears, the rest of her family is clearing out the kitchen. Shh, don't tell. I can never remember. When we go on daylight savings time, it's spring forward or fall back. Oh, thanks. It is fall back, yeah. He's made a break for it. He's making good time.
Okay.
The only problem is,
Mommy,
the bathroom is the other way.
Mommy, I'm gonna pee. I'm gonna go. Too late.
When faced with a stubborn jar, you can run it under warm water, ding the lid with a knife, or use a rubber glove. Or you can let your octopus open it for you. The only problem with the octopus is that he'll eat all your pickles. And he'll do it 8 times as fast. The problem with being such a photographic cat is that the paparazzi will not leave you alone. I mean, when you are photographed 24/7, these guys are bound to catch you in compromising positions. At weddings, little girls are always imagining their own special day and who they will end up marrying. Sometimes they don't like where those thoughts lead. No, don't you panic. Plenty of fish in the sea. Buttercup could not for the life of her figure out why they called it a honey bear. Either her taste buds were on the fritz or this thing didn't taste like honey at all. In fact, it tasted like lint, dust, and thread. Nothing sweet about that. In fact, it was barely tolerable. Coming up, a birdie gets bootious. And a dog gets studious. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. Now, what's the first thing you absolutely must do after sitting on an anthill? You gotta dance! Twyla loves inventing the hippest new dances. You ever heard of the Cabbage Patch? That's hers. The electric slide? Oh yeah, she came up with it on that very perch. The Running Man? You guessed it. Funky Chicken? No, that was not her. But this is her latest. She calls it the water pump. Oh yeah, she's pumping now, baby. Prime that pump. She just hopes this one is as popular as, you guessed it, the hood ornament. Now get dancing! Oh, I love this one. Ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies, ashes, ashes. We all break a hip. Anybody can look good flopping around to the rhythmic beat and pounding bass of fast music. But when the music slows and the lights stay dim, is when you can witness a dance team's true artistry. It is poetry with a tale. In some Eastern Bloc countries, it is customary for the woman to do all the work on the dance floor. Not just for the aesthetics, but for safety. Nice move there, Nikolai. He asked for this dance, but he doesn't really need her. She seems more interested in looking good anyway. Not Jangles, baby. He feels the music, and he is perfectly content to cut a rug solo. Go Jangles, it's your birthday. Go Jangles, go Jangles. Oh, that bird is fine. No trip to Mexico is complete unless you get to tackle Hemingway the bull. And that's just what Ernest and Santiago here plan to do. They only have to stay on for 8 seconds, but ask not for whom the bull tolls. It tolls for them. In the world of fashion, it isn't just knowing the do's and don'ts, it's also being able to tell them apart. With the drought worse than ever, everybody had to do their part to conserve. The Johnsons decided to forego a Christmas tree, and instead, in a conservation effort of goodwill, decorated their dog. Deck the halls with boughs of holly. Bow, wow, 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 wow. Am I embarrassed? Black button boots are always in fashion, but it is a fashion don't if you have them on the wrong feet. Getting him to agree to wear the unicorn costume was the easy part. He gets the humor of dressing against type and all that. The real trick will be getting him to say, trick or treat. If I knew my cartoons, it'll probably sound something like, Rick-or-reet. When the clock struck midnight, she ran from him. But she left behind this magical and slightly pungent slipper. Prince will never forget the way her feet smelled, and now, thanks to that slipper, he would be able to track her down by the smell of her feet. Whew. and ensure that they live happily ever after. Ugh. Pongo was told dogs were not allowed on the sofa. So he dressed up like Grandpa. Who's sitting pretty now, old man? Aunt Betty had the worst breath in the family. So, to prepare for her visits, they would dress up the dog to look like Aunt Betty and let her breathe on everybody. See, that way the children wouldn't be so freaked out when Aunt Betty wanted to give them a kiss. Coming up, a chicken so vain, I bet she thinks this show is about her. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. For years, Clucky thought she was a duck. No, seriously, she did. She just thought her feet were a little different. But now that she sees herself in the mirror, she knows the truth. Man, no wonder she couldn't swim. See you next time.